5 Minute Food Entrepreneur Podcast number 7, and we have a very exciting guest on. We are doing this over the magic of Instagram Live, as ever. And today we have Aileen Blundell from Baby-Led Weaning. Now, we should be back in. I've just added Aileen there. She's going to join us in about 1 minute. So, there we have it. Through the magic of
Yay!
Instagram Live. We made it happen.
Sorry.
All good. We had a couple of issues, technical issues, but we got there in the end.
How are you?
Amazing. Thanks so much for joining me. Where are you in the world?
I am in Sligo at the moment, in a mobile home,
Fantastic.
in the wind.
Very good. You shared something there, a video online about cooking in the west of Ireland in
Yeah,
a camper van.
in a mobile
A mobile
home,
home.
but I was trying to. So, I tried to cook with like minimal utensils and minimal ingredients, and to try to show that like really nice and healthy food doesn't need to be crazy expensive, I suppose, and can be done like really quick. So I have kids that come in and I'm like, stay here, eat your dinner before you go out back out to play again. So I'm trying to like cook things really quick. So I suppose trying to share that like quickness of how easy it is sometimes to cook like really nice healthy dinners for kids
Yeah,
that they eat. Yeah.
really nice. Yeah, yeah, that's a big challenge, and I like the way you put the price in there as well, so people have an idea. Can we go back to the
Yeah.
beginning? So of you know, making baby-led weaning recipes and tips online. How did that all come about?
So I started sharing recipes. I was feeding my little boy Oscar. I'd watched a TED talk by Jamie Oliver called Teach Every Child About Food, and it highlighted the unhealthy eating habits of children, mostly in America. But it really resonated with me because of the rising obesity levels and rising obesity statistics in Ireland and the UK as well. There's like 20% of children in Ireland and the UK are
Well,
either obese or overweight. So at the time it was one of those things that was a really heavy hitting issue for me. I wanted to make sure that this didn't affect my children, and I also wanted to try and do something that would try and help other parents to make really good healthy food for their kids and not buy the processed or the pre-packaged foods, and instead try to make sauces and things like that from scratch, like quick and easy. So I'm not talking about like spending like loads of complicated time in the kitchen, but I started sharing recipes online, and my following obviously has grown to a huge amount. And I've written 2 best-selling cookbooks as well. So it's just become this like revolution that I feel like I've started from my little corner of the world, and that's all I kind of ever wanted to do with baby led feeding, was to try and make a change in how people feed their children, to show them that healthy food doesn't have to taste bland and not nice, but also can be really quick, easy to do, and can totally save you time when you do things like batch cook and stick into your freezer and things like that. But it's also led me on this like crazy journey in terms of my own personal career as well. Like I went back to college, I brought a product out. So I did food works with Enterprise Ireland and Board Bia. I put a product into the market. So I had a product in 94 done stores. It didn't work, unfortunately,
oh,
and I kind of still wanted to do something else that would I'm very ambitious, I suppose, when it comes to things with my career. So I went back to college about 4 years ago. I've been studying nutritional science for the last 4 years. Now I'm in second year. Just going into second year of my master's in nutrition. So by the end of next year, I will be registered as a nutritionist, which is really important to me, because I just feel like a lot of the advice that's online when it comes to nutrition, people do these 6 months, 4 month courses, and then suddenly they're able to give nutritional advice to people. And I just feel that there's such a, I don't know, there's like, between the advice that's evidence based and the actual advice
yeah.
that a lot of people give, I think there's kind of like this huge kind of gap. So I really want to, for me, get qualified and know that I'm giving the right advice to parents when they're feeding their children. So it's kind of led me on this like massive journey baby led feeding has. It's completely changed my life from something that was like cooking for my kids in the kitchen to this. So
Yeah,
it's mad.
and to it is kind of mad, yeah, when you say it like that, like cookbooks and everything, and where you are now. But say when you started off, and now to get to where you got to, I'm sure there was maybe an element of luck and maybe the right, I don't know, the right timing and your own passion. But there's got to have been an element of, like not everyone. If I had started that, I'm sure I wouldn't have gotten 1,000 followers. Like there has to be an element of kind of entrepreneurialship in that, no, in yourself. Would
Maybe,
that be?
yeah. I suppose, yeah, but like I also work like exceptionally hard. Like at nighttime,
Yeah,
like my husband would be like, put the phone down and go to sleep. And I'd put the phone down and I'd wait for him to go to sleep. And then I'd sneak downstairs and I'd answer messages from mums to give them the answers that they wanted, because I
wow,
felt that everybody that messaged me and took time out of their day had something that was on their mind important to say. And I got completely and utterly like sucked into all of that. I loved helping people. And I suppose that that's been like an integral part of everything that I've done for
mm,
baby led feeding. I've worked exceptionally hard at it. It hasn't just been like the look of like, I haven't just been like really lucky
yeah,
to get the fall. Like I work really, really, really hard. Like I work my I don't really make a whole lot of money from baby led feeding. Like I work a lot. Everything I kind of do, all the stuff that's on Instagram is, it's all like free advice that I give to people. Like, and I
yeah,
put so much work and time and effort into that. And I've great collaborations that I do with people like or with companies. Like I have great partnership with Dunn Stores and I work with them and I get to share their amazing products. But like for the audience that I work with, like I do all of that for free. Like
mm,
I share all of that content because I love what I do. I love it. And I think that's the kind of thing that you have to have. You have to have a love for
yeah,
something for it to work, you know?
yeah. No, it's really interesting. And do you find like I'm only new to social media stuff. Do you find like the as you said, all the work, all the messaging, all the comments back to people, and your husband saying get off the phone at night time or whatever, and I get that the odd time as well myself. Do you find it's just it gets a bit intense sometimes on the
Yeah,
phone so much, or
it really does. And it's affected me and my mental health a lot over the years because like you kind of, it's very hard to know when to switch off. Do you know? It's like I could work, I could work all day. I'm
mm,
one of those kind of people. I could literally work all day. And I think over COVID, that like really, like when things were locked down and shut down, I feel like in that time, I really had to work hard on myself to try and step away from that and put a boundary between, to put a boundary between me and work and leaving time for my family and myself, which I really didn't do a whole lot of. So like now what I try to do is I work Monday to Friday. Like this is just like a really quick like of my days. Like I'm
yeah,
studying my masters, so I get up and I study from 5 to 8, and then I bring my kids to school and I do my school run and I work from 10. I work from about 10 after I walk the dog until about 5:30 every day, and then I don't work in the evenings and I don't work weekends, and I can kind of get everything done within that time,
yeah,
but they're still like really super long days. So I think you just have to plan things properly. Um, but for me, it's like I do a lot like in that
yeah.
time.
No, it's crazy, and yeah, I can definitely appreciate it. It is mad. What? So you're to go maybe a little bit deeper, a bit more micro. Like to what do you think the reason for that, or maybe going back into your past or whatever. Like, what is it in you that kind of has that? Do you think it's something in your past, or do you think it's just something you've kind of learned, or
I think it's something I've learned. I was never I never would have considered myself really smart when I was in school, but then, and I was never interested in science until I
Mm.
found something interesting in science, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
when I started, um, when I started studying science and started realizing how food can affect the body and
Mm.
the different ways, the different nutrients can make such a difference to people's lives, and lack of nutrients can make such a difference to people's lives. I suppose those things made me get deeper and deeper and want to learn more and want to learn more. And it's that integral part of me of being like a nurturer. I'm a hell like you know those kind of the things that you do that test. I can't remember it where it tells you the kind
Yeah.
of
Your
person that you
personality
are.
traits, or yeah.
Yeah, like so I'm a nurturer.
Right.
So like I'd work for free to help people to make them better, and seeing people seeing people thriving after me helping them is what like gives me my greatest joys in life,
Mm.
truly. And I suppose it's learning about the science and learning about all those kind of things and then wanting to use that for better, I suppose, has been like my driver. And then my parents, of course, like my mom and dad are amazing. Like they are self-sustainable, like they grow all their own
Well.
vegetables, so like we grew up like that.
Mm.
So I suppose it's that kind of like I've always had this like love and joy of food. And I obviously talk really fast. I'm really sorry,
No,
trying to
no,
get
not at
to
all. It's
five
very interesting,
minutes
and we got two comments in there. One person said, "Thanks so much. I still use your book 3 years on," and this guy Sam said, "You find some gems, Evan." So
uh
he's talking about you, not me, obviously.
I'd say you're
So that's good.
jam as well, though, Evan.
And I have two other questions. I'd love
Okay.
to talk to you about loads of stuff, but we have to live up to the name of the podcast to an extent. But the first one, just a slight askew. Um, you've loads of different hats, let's just say.
Yeah.
My sister, she has two young girls. She's living over in Vancouver, but I go over there kind of maybe once a year or whatever, and it's probably my first experience of they're both under say 18 months. For my first experience of kind of seeing what it's like to have children, or being in that situation, and it's like it's I just my overall feeling from it was that it's 10 times harder than I ever thought it would be, having children. um what's your opinion on that? Is motherhood or having children, is it like, is it very difficult? Or
It's both difficult and the greatest joy of your entire life mashed together
right.
in this like crazy thing where you can be like so ultra full of anxiety for the things you don't know that's going to happen, and just I suppose it's like it's still I don't know, it's just like such a bittersweet thing. Like I love being a mother, like I loved being pregnant, I loved having my babies, I love my children, I love watching my children getting older, and it's also the saddest thing in the world that they're growing up and slowly leaving me. But it's also such a hectic time that at that time when your babies are little and you're going through like zero to like from pregnancy right up until your children are probably like 6 or 7, where they're
Mm,
kind of you're able to open the door and let them go out and play and all of that kind of stuff.
yeah.
I suppose like those years where you're constantly watching them and trying to see what they're doing and are they okay, are they eating something they shouldn't be eating,
Mm.
those days are hectic and they seem like they're going to go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and then they don't, and then suddenly you look back and you're going, I just like really miss those days. But
Yeah.
like, I think when you're in that situation, to really breathe it in and like enjoy it and try to enjoy it, and like even though it is stressful and even though there are like there's so much stuff going
Mm.
on, like it is the greatest times of your life having little kids. Like it really is. It really, really, really is like, and I
Okay.
wouldn't trade it for anything.
Deadly. I'll have to pass the information on to her. So I'm not sure if she'll be so appreciative of my that advice when she's up at 4 a.m. with them, but we'll see. Um, Let me ask you a final one, and I really
Okay.
appreciate your time. You seem like an incredibly ambitious person. Loads going on. Do you have any? What's your future plans or goals for the next say 12 months?
So I'm going into second year of my master's. I'll be qualified as a nutritionist in June of next year. Fingers crossed, as long as I pass all my exams, but I'm doing all right so far. So I'm hoping that I'll be working as a registered nutritionist, and I'm setting up. So I've been working one-to-one with parents as well over the last few months. So I've only kind of started doing that. So I want to continue doing that, and I'm also going to do some group group nourish and nurture classes. So I'm taking small groups of parents, so 20 in a group, where I'm going to bring them along a journey over 8 weeks and teach them how to wean their babies. And so that's kind of what I want to be doing. I want to be working more face to face with people, as opposed to just kind of working and sharing videos online and
Mm,
doing things like that. So I suppose it's getting more in front of the mums and dads, I suppose. But it's mostly mums that follow my page. So I have to get more dads. That
yeah,
should be my ambition, actually, to get the dads. I want to
yeah.
teach dads how to wean their babies. Yeah,
Right, that can be the new
yeah.
page. So, uh,
Yeah.
Aileen, thanks so much. We have
No
only so much
bother.
time. Really appreciate the time. Enjoy the Wild West of Sligo.
Pretty wild today, actually.
Love it.
Thanks very much.
Thanks
See you
a
later,
million.
Evan.
Chat to you soon.
Bye.